Hi Year 11, here's the video to help you draw the dartboard. Now I'm going to be switching between drawings for the one that's been drawn for your video and the one that I did in class as the live demonstration. Okay. Now you know from all of our drawing activities, front, top, side, and switching between views should become very familiar to you. So the first bit of timber we are going to draw is this one. So I'm just going to run an inspection to see how long it is to start with. So we're going to go 807. Okay. Now we're going to do a little bit of math. When we draw this, we're just going to draw half of it. We're going to draw it from the side view. Okay. Rectangle, click, move on your keyboard and type in the height of it. Now we're only going to draw half of it, so we're going to go 403.5. Tab 90. Enter. And when you zoom out, there's half of it. And now I'm going to draw another little rectangle at the top here, where the dovetails would be. So that's going to be 19 tab 90. Enter and use T on your keyboard for trim, or click the scissors. And as you hover over a line that turns red, that's a preview that if you click on that one, that's what's getting deleted. Okay, you have to delete it twice because there's two lines there from the original rectangle and then the second one. So now that what's remaining here is half of your side minus the dovetails on top. So we're going to extrude this 19 mil. Click the house. That's what you've got so far. Okay. Now we're going to draw the little dovetails, the hardest part of the whole project. We're going to draw it from the side plane. So I'm just going to zoom out so I can click the side view plane. And you can really draw it anywhere on your page, but I'm just going to draw it near to the top. Just because I know I'm going to move it soon, and it will be easier if it's close by. So I'm just going to draw a rectangle out here. I'm just going to make it 19 tab 19. We're going to do some construction work on here. So I'm going to zoom right in. Use the line tool, and when you click on your, when you hover on your line, you get a cross for your cursor. At an end point, you get a square, and at the midpoint, you'll also get a triangle. So I'm going to click there, midpoint to midpoint. Okay, some construction lines up here. From that end point, I'm going to come out 7, enter, line tool again, from the end point there, 7, enter, construction lines here, out this way, 3.5, enter, line again, 3.5, enter. Okay, that's left those white dots there, so we're going to go from that dot to that dot, and from that dot to that dot. Okay, escape to turn the tool off, hit T for trim, and we're going to delete the lines we don't need. We just want to be left with the dovetail pin. Okay, escape and E for extrude. We're going to type in 19, enter, and there you can see the dovetail. Okay, now we're going to move it. So M on your keyboard, M for move, and it says, what is it, a body? Yes, it is. Selection, this one. Move type, you've got all these options that you can switch between. We're going to go point to start with. Origin point is what point do you want to move it from. That one. And target point, where do you want to move it to? That one. Now I'm going to switch to my right view here. And you can see it's sticking out past the side. Okay, so we're going to translate, which means slide. We're going to slide it this way, just 5 mil. Okay, click OK. Now we're going to create a pattern. So we're going to go create, pattern, on a path. Here it is. It says pattern on a path, object heights a body, object, the dovetail pin, path, the top line. So we might just spin this. There we go. Escape to turn off orbit. and path, click on it, okay, and click that line. Now as you drag this out, we've automatically got 3 pins. It opened up more of a menu here. We're going to go up for 1 and type in the distance of 80. Okay, and if you switch to right view, you'll see they're nicely spaced over that distance, and click OK. Now, importantly, that's all different shapes, okay? That's the first rectangle, the first pin, the second pin. We want all these to be one body. We want to combine them. So there is a tool called Combine. Target body. Let me just try this. Tool bodies. There we go. So target body was the first big one. The tool bodies were the 4 pins. The operation, we're not doing a cut. We want to join them. Not a new component. And let me see what happens here if I deselect that. Perfect. Now I've got one body. Okay. Now that's just half of it. We're just going to mirror it now. So create, mirror, object type body, object, this one please, mirror plane. Orbit your drawing so you can see the base of it. Turn off orbit with the escape key and click on there. Okay, and it says operation join. Yes, if yours doesn't say join, just select it from there and click OK. There is the side piece of our dartboard cabinet. We don't have to draw that again. We're just going to move copy it. So move copy is M on the keyboard for move. Body, this one. Move type translates fine. We're going to create a copy at the same time. And just drag it off here in space. Doesn't matter how far just yet. Click OK. That's done. Now we want to draw in the top and the base piece. So let's jump back over to my original drawing and I'm going to measure it. So inspect the distance is I from that end to that end, 648. Back into this one. And I'm going to draw it from the top view. 648. Create sketch. Top view. Rectangle. 90, because that's the blue one. Tab. 648. Enter. E for extrude. And you want 19. Enter. There it is. Now I can now move this into place. So that was M on the keyboard. I selected it. I'm going to go point to point and say, alright, well, what points can I see? Well, I can see this back corner. And target point, that back corner at the bottom there is going to line up with that corner there. Preview looks right. Click OK. Alrighty. I'm going to move this side piece in now. So what can I line up with what? So I'm going to go move copy, selection, that's the one I'm moving. Origin point, so sorry, move type, point to point, origin point. I should be able to move this point here to line up with that point there and go OK. Alright. Now, if I just turn off these first 2 bodies, that did not join, sorry, that did not draw the joinery into there. To do that, we use the combine tool. Target body is this one because that's the one we need to cut into based off this one and this one, but we're going to make it a cut and we're definitely going to keep those side pieces. Click OK. So now if I turn those first ones off, you can see that's drawn the joinery in for us. Okay. Let's do it for the bottom. Now you can just move, copy and spin this, but it's just as easy to draw it again because there's not many steps to it. So it was 90 tab 648. Enter. Extrude E and 19. Enter. Let's move it in place. So M. It's already selected point to point, so origin point. We will be able to line up this point here to, let me zoom in and show you, that point there. Okay, let's do our combine. So click OK, go to combine. Target body is this one. What are we going to use to cut into it? That one and that one. Operation should be on cut and keep should be selected. Click OK. So again, turn those two off. There, you can see the joinery in there. Turn them back on. Okay. What did we do next when we made this? We put our shelf in. So let's jump here. I am just going to spin to the back of the drawing because you can easily see from here how long the shelf is. Okay, inspection is I, and from that piece, or that line to that line, is 622. So I can draw that from the front view. 622, 19 thick, 622, and remember to get from one to the other, it's tab, and E for extrude, and it's 90mm deep again. Okay, now where do we need to put this? I'll show you from the back because it's a little easier to see. Inspect. I'm going to measure from here to here, so that gap's 140mm. And how far in is it? So how far in does it go this way? Do an inspection from here to here, 6mm. So move copy, so M, that one there, point to point, so I'm going to go from my origin point here up into here. Oops, right there. Let me do that again. I'll zoom right in for you. So move, so M on the keyboard, it's a body, the selection is this one, move type is point to point, origin point, select there, and I'm going to go from that bottom corner to this inside corner, right, wait till the dot comes up, there. Now I'm going to move it up, so I'm going to go to translate, and if you look at this cube, it tells you what these are, X, Y, and Z. So if you want to move something straight up, that's on the Z. If I wanted to move this out towards the right, okay, so this way, I'd be moving on the Z, and the axis that's hidden at the moment, running out back this way, is the Y. Okay, so I'm moving up and down is Z. And I know it's positive because think of it in maths, this is 0, 0, 0. Okay, if you're moving this way, you're going up away from 0. So that's positive. If you're wanting to move down towards your origin, you put in the negative. Okay, so straight up on the Z, 140. Okay, and we said it was 6mm into the timber, so we're going to be coming this way, which is on the the X coordinate, or the X axis, 6, it said in our drawing. And you can see now that the shelf has gone into there. Click OK. Let's look at it from the front. Okay, now we're going to make this show the joinery. So remember, if I turn this off, there's no joinery in here. Let's put it in there. So, combine, the target body is this one. Sometimes, let me show you what just happened then. When a part of your drawing is behind the browser menu, sometimes it won't let you click on it. Sometimes. So just move it outside of it and you'll be fine. So target body this one, based off this one. It's a cut, and we're going to keep it. Click OK. Now if I hide that shelf, you can see the joineries in there. Okay, let's do it again over here. Combine. Target body is this one based off this one. Cut, keep, okay. Alright, that's in there. There's the carcass with the shelf. Let's put the ply in. So let's just jump up across here And when I spin around, it's a little tricky to tell. So what I'm going to do is just hide that component there, and I'll be able to see from the top view how far in I made this ply go. Inspection. Oh, that may not work. Hang on a second. Close. Let's go to this view. The spin. So what was happening just then, I was looking from the top view, so I could see this complete line. I could see this line touching it. But obviously, that point's not hitting it at the top, so I couldn't click on it. They had to be on the same plane. But what I can measure is this little line here. So inspect that line, and he's 5mm in. Okay. Back to that view, I'll turn that back on. So he's 5mm in the whole way round. So if I go to my back view here, we'll do a little bit of math. So inspection from this inside to this inside, we've got 610. Now if we're going 5mm in each way, it's going to be 620. Okay, inspect from here to here, 610 again, magical. So it's going to end up as 620 as well. So create sketch. It is from the front view, but we're looking at it from behind, so that's why this says back. Okay, off to the side here, 620, tab, 620, enter, E for extrude, and we're going 3mm, enter. There's our ply. Okay, now we're going to put that in there. So nothing new, move copy, selection, this one, point to point. Now I'm going to grab, let me zoom right in here for you, this corner here. One, target point, where's that going to? It's going to start with right here. Okay, now we're going to move this around a bit. Now I'm going to do this from the back so you can see what's happening. It's gone all the way over into here, but we need it only 5mm into there, 5mm into this one, 5mm into this one, only 5mm into this one. So let's do this. So we're going to go translate, and we're going to tell it to, on the x-axis, head back 5mm, so -5, and it's shifted slightly. Okay, so now you can see it's even here and here, 5mm each side. At the top, it's not in it at all. It's all the way into this one, so we're going to shift it up on the Z, 5mm, and we're going up, so it's a positive. Okay. Now, if I just orbit my screen, that's aligned to the very back. We want it in. So that's going to be on the y-axis. So that's going to be going back towards the origin. So that is a -19. And the reason for 19 is we're going to, later on, we're going to be putting another bit of timber across the back here in class when we're making it for practical that's going to allow us to attach it to a wall. Okay, now that hasn't drawn in the groove. Remember, if I turn these off, sorry, there's no groove in there. So let's put the groove in. So use the combine tool to do it. What's the target body you're cutting into? That one, based off the ply. Keep everything. Yes, it's on cut. Click OK. I've got to do that 3 more times. Target based off this one. Cut and keep OK. Combine target based off this one. Cut and OK. Target is the shelf based off this one. Cut and OK. Alright, so if I turn that ply off, you can see that groove the whole way around. Okay. I'm not going to draw the divider in the bottom because what happens in here for our project is completely up to you. So that's up to you when you did your hand sketches to have drawn that. Whatever you did in your hand sketch, you need to draw in this section here. Let's have a look at the doors. Now, I'm going to sketch from the front view. And for some reason, I can remember all these numbers off the top of my head. It was 728, tab 60. Enter, E for extrude, and then 19mm thick. Okay. This is a little tricky now. So for the first tricky thing was drawing that one dovetail. We did that. Next tricky thing is drawing the profile on for our style. So create sketch. We're doing it from the top view, but we're going to click on the top of that style. Okay. Just going to zoom in on this and make it look really big. So we're doing some construction work first. Now, line tool from this corner here straight down. We're going to come down 4mm. Enter. We're going to draw a rectangle from that point there back this way. And he's going to be 4mm thick. Tab 10mm deep. Done. Okay. From here, we are going to draw a square back this way. And we're going to make that, say, 9 by 9. So 9, tab 9. Enter. I'm going to draw a line from here to here. Escape. Circle from this point here out to here. Escape. Let's use the trim tool, so T, and we're going to delete the things we don't need. So I don't want this one, or this one, and remember, hover on it first. When it's red and you're happy with it, click. And that one, and I don't need that original 4mm line. Okay? Escape to turn that off. Finish sketch. Hit E on your keyboard for extrude and select that profile and type in -728. Enter. House. We've just drawn on that edge profile for our style. Okay, we did that on the router. Now, we don't need to draw that again. Let's go and do a mirror. And it's a body, yes, its object is that one, mirror plane, select, zoom in, and we need to select this flat surface right here. Do we want to join it? No, we want it to be a new body. Okay. Let's just move it now. So I'd clicked M on my keyboard, I selected it, we're on translate. I'll just zoom out because the distance doesn't matter right now. And move it out. Click OK. Happy days. Now, we're also going to draw the rails. So stiles are the ones that run up and down. The rails are the ones that go across ways. So let's draw those. And we're not going to draw it. We're just going to copy this. Move copy. So M for move copy. Pick that one. We're going to orbit it or rotate, and we're going to create a copy at the same time. Now, the axis is tricky. You want to select this line here because then it lets you spin the copy that way. 90 degrees. And click OK. Alright, let's just move it again and just use translate. I'm going to just move it all the way down, out of the way. And I'll bring it forward a bit so it's not in the way of my dartboard. Okay, it's out here in space by itself. Click OK. Now, we have to do some maths. Sorry. we're going to inspect the distance between here and here, the width of our cabinet. 648, we knew that. I want to have about a 2 millimeter gap in the middle. So I'm going to do 648 minus 2, so 646 divided by 2 would be 323. Okay, that's going to be the total distance of my door. Let me just write that down. There's too many numbers going through my head. So we had 648 minus 2 gave us 646 divided by 2 gave us 323. Now that's from the outside of the door to the outside of the door. So we're going to minus the total width of both of the stiles. So that's 60 and 60. So we're going to minus 120 from that. That's going to give us, let me do that math down here. $203. Okay. What we have to add on is the amount of timber then that will, and I'll show you on the screen, then stick into these grooves. We drew those at 10 mil deep, so we're going to add 20 to that number and get 223. Okay, the maths isn't complicated. It's just simple division, subtraction, and addition. So this door style that we flipped and copied was 728 long. Now if we take 223 from that, we're going to get 505. Now that little bit of math meant we didn't have to redraw this whole thing, so happy days. E for extrude. We're going to get the end piece and type in minus 505. Now that's the perfect length. We're going to now move and copy it for the top piece. So move M, which one? This one. Create a copy. And just drag it up in space. Doesn't matter where yet. Now I'm going to flip it around. So I'm going to rotate it around that axis there. Okay, so it was one running back on the Y. And I'm going to flip it around. 180. Click OK. Now we know our top rail wasn't 60 wide, it was 140. So the difference there is 80. So let's do an extrusion on this edge up 80. I have to type it in. There it is there. Okay. Let me just orbit that. Yep. So now we can put all of those pieces together. So while I'm up here, I'm going to move this one. Excuse me. So move copy. Which one? This one. I'm going to go point to point. Origin point. I'm going to line up this back edge to here. Let me zoom in for you. To here, oh, there, and then I'm going to shift it in this way, 10 millimeters, so it ends up in deep into that groove. So translate, that's on the X, back towards the origin, so it's a minus 10. Done. Those lines overlap because of the size radius I chose, don't worry about it. Move copy, let's move this one, point to point, from here to here, and then shift it in another 10 mil. So back to translate, and on the Z, it's going to be a minus 10. Enter. Okay, I'm just going to spin my screen so I can see the bottom. Zoom. Looks a little funny, but we can still see the things we need to see. Move this one point to point. I can move that back point to there and then shift it across into the groove 10 mil. So that's going to be on the x-axis. So translate on the x. It's moving away from the origin, so it's a positive 10. Done. Enter or click OK. They're all in the right spot, but the joinery isn't in there. So if I remove this, my joinery is not in here. So let's put it in there. It's the combine tool. We know that. Right. May as well just zoom all the way back out. Just in on the door. Combine tool. Target body, this one based off these two. And it will be a cut and a keep. Click OK. Joinery's in there. Combine. Target this one based off these two. Cut and keep. Click OK. Let's prove it. Let's turn these styles off. So that's body 11 and 12. Look at that. Joinery's in there. Joinery's in there. Alright, I'll just turn them back on. Okay. Let's look at the raised panel door now. Well, sorry, just the raised panel that goes in the middle. So, let's go to the front view. We know our groove the whole way around here is 10 mil deep, each way. So, we'll do a little bit of math. We're going to do an inspection from this edge to this edge. So that gap there is 203. It tells us here 203 plus 10 mil into each groove, so another 20 gives us the 223 again. That's the width of our panel. Now we know that we made this panel in two pieces. We joined them together, 1 and 2 with a domino joint. So 223 divided by 2, 111.5. That should ring a bell. 111.5. How high is this gap? Okay, escape there, inspection from that line there to that line there, 528. Plus another 20 mil for 10 mil each way, so that's going to be 548. That's enough information to start drawing this raised panel. So I think so far we've had two tricky things to do in this drawing. The dovetail pin and drawing the profile for the stile. Third tricky thing. Not quite there yet, but we will be. Create from the front view. Up in space again. We're going to draw half of the raised panel. So the height was 548, tab 111.5. Enter. E for extrude. We did this as 18.5. We took off 0.5 of a mil through the thicknesser. Okay. Here's the little tricky bit. Just a little bit of construction work again. Create sketch on this face here, please. Click there. Now, it's in behind there, so I'm just going to spin my screen back to see it and zoom in on it. Okay, this face here. So line tool. From this corner here, this is the part that needs to fit in the groove, so it's going to be 4 mil. Enter. Our groove was 10 mil deep, so it needs to fit in there easy. So I'm going to come down 12 mil. So there's no chance of it jamming. Enter. Now, this is where it comes to here and comes like this. So I did it different in class. I'm just going to try this. So just watch for now. You can rewind and click on it. I'm going to go click, 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 and hit the tick. Now they were just random points. That's completely fine. You can try that. And then I'm going to use the line tool and go from that last one, the white one, straight across to the edge. Okay? Finish sketch. Now, we could extrude that off, that's easy, but we actually need that to bend around the corner and then back around the bottom corner as well. Okay? So, there's a tool here under Create called Sweep. And that little preview kind of shows you that circle. Or I can't move this to hover on it. Let me get that back up again. The circle at the bottom of the line on the left has been, say, extruded but really swept up along that line to make it look like a tube. You can see that on the right hand side. So we're doing that. Now, usually in Fusion you follow the steps top to bottom. In this one you don't. I don't know why. Hopefully they'll fix it one day. We're going to select the path first. So hit this one and then click on that line, and that line. Now we're going to go back and select the profile, which is this shape here. Look at that. It's giving you a red preview saying that's all going to get cut away. Alright, and it should say Operation Cut there. Click OK. There it is. That was the tricky bit, was drawing that profile on. It looks similar to what we did in class, that's okay. Create, mirror, because we don't like drawing things twice. Object, this one. Mirror plane, this one. Not a join. We're going to make it a new body. I still want to see that it was 2 bits of timber used. Click OK. There's our raised panel. Okay, let's spin around to the back view and place it in. Oopsie daisies, sorry. You know how good I am with Macs? Usually it's the dictionary that appears. Okay. Right, I'm still on orbit. I'm going to turn that off by hitting escape and click on M for move. What am I moving? This body and this body together. Point to point, I'm grabbing that bottom corner and I'm putting it in that bottom corner. That was step 1. I'm going to spin to the back view, so I'm just going to click there. And you can see it's way too far that way. And it's, zoom out, way too high as well. Needs to be recentered in that groove. So translate, I'm going to move it back on the X towards the origin, so -10. And I'm going to move it down on the Z, so -10. There we go. Now if I spin slightly side on, whoops, it's still dead in line. We need to move it forward into the groove. So escape that, and that's going to be on the Y, and it's going to be -4. Click OK. It's in there. Okay, look at that. If I turn this bottom one off to show you, there you go, you can see it's in that groove. Cool, I'll just turn that back on. Back to the house. There's our draw done. Now, we can draw the fancy shape on top. Oh, I already am on that view. Sorry, I meant to go to the front view. Now, a little bit of construction work again. Don't be afraid of it. Front view. I'm going to draw a rectangle that's the same width as the door. So I'm just drawing it up here. It was 323. And I'm going to make it 140 tab 323. Whoopsies, that's way too big. 323. Enter. And then I'm going to draw another rectangle on that from that bottom corner there up 60. Tab 323. Enter. Why did I do that? Because when we cut away, I know that this point here, when I move the door into place, aligns with this point here. So I know that my fancy curve can only be in this top little section. Okay. Now, depending on your drawing you did on your hand sketching, you have to draw the same, or very, very similar curve in here. Alrighty. I'm just going to use a simple arc. So arc, 3-point curve. And you go, that's the first point, that's the last point, and I'm going to make it bend to there. Click. One, so it was click, click, and then how much you wanted it to bend, click. Now hit T on your keyboard and delete everything we don't need. Cool. That's the part I want left, funnily enough, because that's the part we're deleting from here. E for extrude, doesn't matter how much, I'm just going to do 19 because of old habits. Orbit your screen. And we're going to do a little bit of moving now. So M for move, what are we moving? This one, point to point, from this back corner to this front corner here. And then I'm just going to slide it forward, doesn't matter how far, and click OK. Right, E for extrude, and you're going to use this face, and you're just going to drag it back through the door. Okay, click OK, and that's cut that shape out of your door. We're practically done. Now, let's make it look like timber. So let's click A for appearance. Now mine will look slightly different because I've used this 3 billion times. So let me just close this and this. Okay, yours should open up something like that. You'll have your library and you'll have a list of categories in here. Now, if you single click, it'll open the folder. There'll be more folders and you can open up more. So I've opened up wood, wood solid and finished. And whatever finish you've decided to put on your cabinet is what you should apply in here. So if you just want to leave it as pine and put a clear finish on it, like we've done in year 10, we can scroll down and we can find a 3D pine glossy, there's a 3D pine semi-gloss so it's not so shiny, and you may have a download arrow next to it. I don't because I've already used this 3 billion times, okay? So download it, and then all you have to do is click and drag it over each body. I chose to do this now because I'm going to copy that door, so I figured putting the appearance on it now means I only have to put the appearance on the door once, not twice. Okay, close. Now, if I went into appearance again and needed to do it again, there's a section here called in this design and it tells you that's the one you already used, so you could just click and drag it in again. So no big deal if you forgot to put it on one body and then you forget which one it was because it'll be up in this design. Okay, let's move the door in place and make a second one. Do it in reverse order though. Let's make the second one. So let's go move, copy, bodies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to be a translate. We're going to create copy. Move it out here. But it's back to front. So how about we don't do that? Hit cancel. Sorry, very sorry. Let's do it as a mirror. Create mirror. Object 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mirror plane. The edge of the door. And not a join, we want it as a new body. Okay, there it is. Okay, let's move it in place now. So move copy. Which one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Point to point. We are going to get I'm trying to make it easy for you. This point here, line it up down to this front corner here. So zoom right in so you know you're clicking on the right line. And I know that that gap from this line to that one was 140. And I know the thickness of this is 19. So 140 plus 19 is 159. So I should be able to do a translate now and just slide it up on the Z, 159. Okay, I'm just going to spin my drawing while that's all still open. Yep, and you can see it lines up with the bottom of the shelf. Escape, click OK. So let's do it for this one here. Move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, point to point, that back bottom corner of the door. Okay, see it's the back corner to this front corner here. Slide it up, so translate, Z is up, 159. Enter. Okay. The house, there it is. If we look at the front, there it is. If you zoom in, you'll see that itty bitty tiny little 2mm gap between your doors so that they don't rub and jam when you try and close your doors. Okay, 2mm is ample. There it is. There's the project drawn with all our joinery in there. Again, whatever you've designed in your hand sketches, you should be attempting to draw in here. Make sure you've saved this, please. So click the Save Disk, give it a name. Click OK. Names it up in the tab there. Now, you can see I've got other drawings open. So when there's another drawing, or sorry, your drawing and it's got an asterisk on it, it means you've done something in there and haven't saved it. So just keep an eye on your tab label here. If it's ever got an asterisk, feel free to hit save. Keep saving as you go. Okay, this is not automatic saving. You need to actually hit save. Okay, now you're ready to produce your 3 sheets for your working drawing. So to do this, the first thing we need to do, close that bodies folder, right click, which is a 2-finger tap on the trackpad if you're on a Mac, create components for bodies. Okay, now they're all components, not bodies. Not sure why I have a warning, never mind, hopefully it doesn't cause me a problem. And we go to File, New Drawing, From Design. Now, I'm going to pause there because 1 or 2 people in class had a setting as a default that was going to be problematic. So what I want you to do is just click on your face here and go to Preferences. Now, underneath this drawing tab, so there's all these. So there's a few that say, I think there's a few that say drawing. Maybe there's not. Alright, anyway, it's this drawing one. Open that up and make sure your standard is selected as ISO, units are millimeters, sheet size A4. I think you need to click on this to enable these and check that projection angle is third angle. Super important. Okay, in the graphics world, you've got first angle versus third angle, and it's all about viewpoints and the way things get projected back onto a plane. Trust me, pick third angle, because when you look at a right side drawing, it actually looks like the right side of the drawing. If you do first angle, it's all reversed, okay? So check that this is third angle, check that all this is this, okay? If you've had to change it, you'll have to hit the apply button and then okay. So from there on in, all this will work. File, new drawing, from design. First sheet we're going to do is a full assembly, create new, That's right, that's right, that's right, that's right. That one, click OK. Now this may take a minute depending on your device. It opens up a new tab. Okay, and look at the logos. This is an isometric drawing. This one's setting it up as a 2D working drawing. Okay, now as you move your cursor, your front views come in with you. So just click to place, and then we're looking at this drawing view panel. The style we're going to change to shaded with hidden edges. Okay, give it a minute. And the scale we're going to change to 1 to 10. And click OK. Okay, now it's generated it, and you can see all those hidden lines are the hidden parts of the drawing. That's the top of the carcass, the side, and the shelf. Okay. Now click on the title block and just click delete. I'm not worried about it for this. And then click here, just move it down slightly because we're creating space for both our top and side and ISO and our dimensions around the outside of our drawing. Okay, so about there is good. Okay, have it selected and you'll be able to click projected view. Now, one or two people didn't have projected view there. Don't worry, if it's not there on yours, click create and it will be down in here anyway. So projected view, and as you move up, the Australian standards for our drawings, the AS 1100s, which is part of our syllabus, says we have to draw according to that. So it has to be directly above, which is good because the software does that for us. Okay, come out to the side, it keeps it aligned. Great, that is the right hand view. And then come up here and that will give you an isometric view. You can click the tick and that locks everything in. Now I want to show shaded and hidden detail on these three, not this one. So double click this one and just change the style to just shaded. That looks better. Click close. Okay. That's sheet 1. You're able to add additional sheets. So let's click save on this because we haven't even named it. So hit save. What do you want to save it as? Save it as that and just add WD after it for working drawings and click save. Saving. It's thinking there it is. Okay. Don't close it. Go back to your original isometric drawing. We're going to go again. We're doing this 3 times. File, new drawing from design. The second time you do it, we're not doing a full assembly. We're selecting components. What components? I just want the carcass. Now just hover on it until you're clicking on the actual part you want. I want the shelf as well. So I'm going to spin my drawing to the back because it's easy to select. Turn off orbit with the escape key, the shelf, and the ply. Okay, 6 components. I don't want a new one. I want the one I've already created. Create a new sheet. Yes, there's no way it'll fit on that first sheet. And that's already all locked in. Click OK. Okay, same thing. Click to place. Come over here. Shaded with hidden edges. 1 to 10. Click OK. There it is. Okay. Move it so we've got space for dimensions. Click. Projected view. There's the top. There's the side. There's the ISO. Click the green tick. Done. Double click this one, change it just to shaded. Much better. Close. Okay, there's sheet 1, there's sheet 2. Click save. Just click OK, it'll save over top. Okay, so now you can see sheet 1, sheet 2. Let's go and do sheet 3. Back to your ISO drawing. Now, we're going to grab our door frame this time. Just the frame, not the panel. File, new drawing, from design. Select 1, 2, 3, 4. One I've already done. Create a new sheet. Okay. Now I'm going to place this one. Whoops. There. 1 to 10. Whoops. Shaded and hidden detail. 1 to 10. Click OK. Grab that. Projected view. There's the top. There's the side. There's my ISO. Click the green tick. Change that one just to shaded. Close. Plenty of space here to put the panel. Let's go get it, but I'll hit save first. Click OK. Back to our ISO drawing. File, new drawing, from design, select 1, 2. Not the new one, the existing one. Here, sheet. I can fit it on sheet 3. Click OK. Here it is. 1. Shaded and hidden. I mean, there won't be any because I didn't make you draw the dominoes in, so lucky you. 1 to 10, click OK. Click on that, projected view. There it is, and there's our ISO. Click the green tick. Let's get rid of the hidden detail and just have shaded. Click close. Okay, that's ample for this assignment, guys. We're now going to save again, obviously. And now I will show you how to dimension these. And for the sake of our assignment, I'll just get you to put your name on them. So back to sheet 1. You want to be putting enough dimensions on your drawings this year and year 12 to be able to print these off, bring them into the workshop, and be able to build your project. Just like I've got ours up on the wall. There's enough dimensions on there to build it. So let's start dimensioning. Here's our dimension tool. So I've clicked that. I want to know the length of my base piece. So I'm going to zoom right in and click that point, and drag it out to place it. Okay. How wide is that piece of timber? Well, I can tell that from over here because it lines up with there and there, and I'm going to bring it down and click to place. How thick's that bit of timber? I can tell that from the top view. From here to here. And I can click to place that. So now I know my top and my base pieces because they're the same. I want to know how long my side view is. My side piece, 807. Okay. It's 90 wide. It's 19 thick as well. They click in together. I'm just thinking now, what else do I need to know? That's enough to make the carcass, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. I think the shelf I will dimension on my next sheet. So I think that will do for now. Okay. Click save. Click OK. You don't want to overload your sheets with dimensions. They'll get confusing. So on this one, I can dimension a few extra things. So I already know the outside dimensions. I want to now tell people, hey, the shelf, this gap, is 140 mil up. My shelf thickness is 19. I want to tell people how long the shelf is. So from the edge of the shelf there, the edge of the shelf there to there is 622. And I might want to tell them how deep that groove is then. I mean, they could do the math, but why not make it just a little bit easier for them? Very sorry if you can hear me coughing and sneezing in the background. So the grooves are 6 mil deep. May as well put it over here. You don't need to. You could do the math and work it out. From there to there, there's my 6 mil deep as well. Now I'm trying to keep numbers aligned, so I'm trying to keep that lined up to that. It's an Australian standard. I'm not going to mark you on it so strictly, but if it's close enough, it's good enough for me. Okay. Have I got enough information to make that shelf? 622 long. It's 19 thick. How deep is it? Like how wide is it? full depth. And I can tell that because these dotted lines go the whole way through. Okay, the hidden detail. That's the beauty of showing hidden detail. The other thing I can dimension on here is the ply. And I know how big it is because of the dotted lines. Okay? Now, where's the best view to show this from? Probably the front. So you can actually just click on the dotted line and bring that down in there. Now, this is too close for me, so I'm going to click on the 622, grab this center dot and drag it down a bit further. Done. Click on that one, drag that one down a bit better. There we go, easier to read. Okay, so it's 620 and that's wide. How high is it? Dimension. I'm going to click on that. Ah, see, it says 610, but that's because it's been cut off by this dotted line. So I'm going to manually zoom in and make sure I'm getting the top from that point there and getting the bottom of it right down there, 620. Okay, where's the best view to show that it's a 3mm thick bit of ply? Well, I could do it here and bring it down here, but it'll get very busy. I can do it up here as well. So I can say from here to here, it's 3mm. And how far in is it set? Well, I can show you that here too. 19. And bring that out there. So it's 19mm in, it's 3mm deep, it's 620 by 620. That's enough. Okay? Then you can see that, hey, that's what it looks like when it's going together. Click Save. Let's head over to Sheet 3 and dimension that. Alright, time for the door frame. Dimension. From here, out here. Done. So I know my stiles are both 728 long to start with. You could put a note in here, which is what I did in class, to say, hey, this stile is cut, enter, from a length of 728 millimeters. It's a bit long. Length of 728 millimeters. Click close. Now that's outside my border, so I can click on it and I can drag it. Might bring that down. It's getting a bit messy. I wonder if I can... There we go. Maybe, maybe not. It's not letting me go past that point. What's that do? Don't like that. Maybe this. We'll do that. We'll drag that down there. We'll drag this down there. That looks a bit better. We just have to be careful where we dimension things from. You know what? I'm going to delete it and go again. There we go. Got the little dash to go the other way. Cut from a length of 728 millimeters and click close. That's better. Done. Okay, 728 by how thick? Well, I can show that in the top view. 1, 2, done. How wide is it? Well, I can show that here. There, and it's all the way over into here. Done. Now I want this 60, escape. I want the 60 to appear in here. So I can drag it in. Stiles are done. The rail. Well, dimension from here to here. Oh, that was messy. Let's make sure I grab point to point. Point to point. Bring it out flat. 60. How long is it? From point, zoom right in. Because I believe these overlapped a little. There it is, those two outside lines. So there. And we already know it's 19mm thick because it all lines up the whole way around. Okay? Got to be careful what you're clicking on when we put a lot of lines close together. 1, 2. Now, I don't like this 60 bean here. It looks messy. So I'm going to click on that one. And I'm going to put one over here instead. It's a little messy, but I think I'll just have to deal with it. Now the next one I need to dimension is the top one because it's not 60. So from here to here, if I come out flat, there's where we can show that that one was cut from a length of 140. Okay, have I got enough information to make that door? Let's look. So the stiles were both 728 long to start with. They're both 60mm wide. Okay, I'm making an assumption that they're equal. And they're both 19mm thick. Have I got enough for the rail? 223, same for this one lines up. It'll be 223 as well. It's 60mm wide. This one, 140, and they're all 19 wide the whole way around. Now, if we were doing our HSC, we'd zoom in and we would show this detail. I'm not going to worry about this year, but we would show that next year. Okay, that's enough for the door frame. Let's do the raised panel. So, dimension. Yeah, may as well just click on that line there. 548. 115. 115. Let's line those up. Let's try. If you zoom in, you get more control. And you can tell it the overall width if you so desire, if you don't feel like doing the math on the day. 223. And how thick is it? I can dimension it here or here. Since there's a lot going on here already, I'm just going to do it in the top view. So between here and here, 18.5. I escape. I'm going to click on that and drag this 18.5 up on that side to tidy it up. And you know what I will show over here is that this dimension here, if I zoom right in, here to here, is 4mm thick. Because I'm going to come back over here and I will show this one detail over here, that this is also 4mm thick. So we know it fits in there. I mean, in real life, we'd probably make this a squidgen smaller so it doesn't grab. We'd want it smidgen smaller so it wouldn't just slide in. But you get the idea. Okay. There's everything there. Now, I didn't do this in class, but I'll do it here. Let's label this. Here, people in class just put their names here. Let's do this. Let's call this Sheet 1 Dartboard Cabinet. Drawn by, and write your name. Click close. Okay, you can click and move that so it's nicely spaced. Save. Okay. Next one. I wonder if you can copy paste this. Let's try that. Copy. Sheet 2. Whoops. Paste. Nope. Didn't work. Okay, that's fine. Sheet 2. Carcass and shelf. Drawn by. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me just close that. I wonder if it's just a video. Sometimes it does funny things when I'm recording. Maybe I bumped something. Drawn by and put your name. Click close, and you can click and drag it to place it nicely. And sheet 3. Oops, why did I click dimension? We want text. Sheet 3. Raise panel door. Drawn by and put your name. Next year I'll show you how to put in a proper title block, okay? We've learnt enough for now. And save. Okay? Next year, you would export this as a PDF and print that off, and all the scales remain. This year, you're just going to take a screenshot of each sheet. So just zoom in so it's as big as it possibly can be on the screen, and take a screenshot from here down to here. So we want to make sure we're including the page border. Okay, so do that for 1, 2, 3, and we want to pop that in your folio. I showed you that in class, but let's just see your folio. It's under this section here, production and working drawings, and all your hand sketches should be in this section here. So how do you find this page? Just go right up to your contents list, okay? Because you should have been working on this folio at home. Your contents list, here it is. Development ideas, put your hand sketches in here. Production and working drawings. So just click on it and then click on that and it jumps to that section. Paste the picture in and spin it to 70 degrees. So the top of your the top of your drawing is here, the base is here, and you should have clicked this second wrap text option. Okay, so sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. Okay, that's it. Once you've done that, you're completely up to date. Cool, just make sure you've always got it saved. Asterisk should go bye-bye. See, no asterisks now. Happy days.